Inquiry blog. This is my blog for IQ4, and this is the last required English course for me. And what do I think I learned in 112 that will apply to the rest of my life? Well, even though I'm done with English, I think that I've learned a lot of things this semester that will apply to various things in the future. Like, I obviously am going to have to write more papers and do presentations, and this is just like a stepping stone to get me to those places later in my life. I think for the first inquiry, we did analyzing of the movies to like cinematic and narrative techniques that they used, so that will help me later in other papers, if I can figure out how to differentiate things within a book, a play, a movie, things like that. That will certainly help me if I have things like that I need to do. And then inquiry 2, it was arguing your position from a movie, and I think that you always need to argue your position. Whether I thought that, I think I did the movie Juno, and I had the position, I didn't really remember what it was right now, but I had a position that I needed to argue, and I had to back up my sources with research, and I think doing that research is really important for doing any sort of papers, not just like argumentative papers, but any paper that needs, that's not just your own personal opinion, but that needs factual information. I think that helped me figure out exactly how to do that. And then especially we did the annotated bibliography, and I think that's only the second one I've ever done in my life, and I'm pretty sure that I'm probably gonna have to do another one at some point in my life, so that helped me just figure out how to do that. And I think I could just use it later. I mean, you can always build on your skills, and I think this class has definitely helped me build onto skills that will help me in the future. And then inquiry 3 and 4 were kind of like reflective narrative type things, and I think it's just good to have like self-reflection, to think back on things that you've done. And I think that whenever you do something, you should think, how did this help me personally? I think it's a good thing just to know and realize when you're doing something. I think the next part of the question is, how about you use or not use these skills in other classes? Well, for my inquiry 4 paper, I talked about participation. Participation is not something that I really like to do. I prefer just to sit in class and listen. But participation was required for your class and also for another class that I had. And at the end of my international studies class with Dr. Badiva, she was like, "Oh, Yamina, you have come out of your shell since the first part of the semester," after I got done taking her final. And that really meant a lot to me because, in a class that big, it's like it's a good feeling to know that she, remembers what I've said and how I changed over the semester. And I think that definitely has some part to do with English because I have to, like speak my ideas, and that's sometimes difficult for me because it's just so easy to stay quiet, and I think that helped me in other classes as well. In my career, I'm gonna need all these skills all the time. These aren't just skills that you do once or twice. They're gonna come again. They may come in different forms. Like, I don't think I'll be writing a paper about Pan's Labyrinth or Juno or Captain America anymore, but I think that somehow I will need what we've learned in class. Later in life, I don't know if my career will be quite yet, but I don't know if I'll be writing papers, but I think I may have to use some form of what we've learned, like analytical skills and researching especially, because currently I'm a biology major, so research is like a big part of like moving forward in this kind of major type thing. In conversations in life, well, as I said in my inquiry 4 paper, the peer reviews especially were important because it kind of helped me think out my ideas, because while often I have a little seed in my head of what I'm going to do, I usually don't figure it out until the day the papers due or the day before the papers due. So peer reviewing helped me like formalize what I was thinking and to like people, because I guess it's different when it's in your head. It just allowed me to better communicate my ideas, which later helped me write my paper. Enjoyment of movies and other text. Well, I always enjoy movies and text, and as I look at movies, I've taken a film class before in high school. Nothing really stuck with me that much, but just like visual things. I think in my inquiry one paper I talked about music a little bit, the music in the background, and that usually always stands out to me in music, in movies, because it's a sad moment, so they have sad music, but sometimes, they don't always do what you think that they're going to do. So it just helps me notice things more. So I think it might help me appreciate film a little bit more. And I did my canon about TV movies, and I think it helped me think about like the kind of TV movies that I like. So that's another appreciation of text. And if you could give advice to English 112 students, what would it be? I think for English 112 students, I think that just don't come in with any expectations. Like, I thought it'd be kind of like boring and interesting, like 111 was, and that the teacher, not that my teachers didn't care, but that you wouldn't really have to do that much to get a good grade in the class. So I would just say don't have too many expectations. And thank you. This is my last video blog.